Hey there, you're welcome back to my free real estate investment course, and this is going to be the 5th video in this particular module. In the first module, we looked at the foundation of real estate, and in this module 2, we are looking at the legal aspect of real estate. In our previous video in this module, we considered 11 documents that are commonly associated with real estate transactions here in Nigeria. In this particular video, we want to look at 5 important documents you need to get after making payment on that particular property. So just to remind you that this is a full real estate investment course, I encourage you to go through what we have treated before now and also what we shall be treating after this particular video, so that you can get yourself abreast with the whole information. And if real estate sounds like what you want to begin with here in the city of Abuja, then my team and I here at Ideal Homes and Estate Developers Limited are just the best team to work with. Do call us right now and we would be so glad to get you started with what we have. So without further ado, I want you to come with me as we explore these 5 important documents you need to get after making payment for that particular property. So like I said earlier on, I get this message or this question quite often. Oh, Andrew, what are the important documents I need to get? I don't want my property to be taken away from me, so I need to lay hold on those important documents for me to be able to show full ownership of my property. So what are those documents I need to get? Now, I would like to begin by saying that there are differences between estate lands and non-estate lands. If you're buying properties from an estate, there are specific documents you would get, and if you're buying a non-estate land or a non-estate property, there are also specific documents you are going to get. So with this understanding, I would like us to delve into the points individually, looking at it from different segments. So at the end of the day, we'll be able to have a proper understanding of what documents you need to have on which, whether an estate land or a non-estate land. So we are starting off with an estate land. If you're buying an estate land, there are 5 important documents you need to get. Number 1 is the offer letter. The offer letter, of course, like we treated in our previous video, is a letter or a necessary document that is issued by the seller or the real estate company to you who is interested in buying. It clearly states the terms and conditions in which that property is being sold for. So the payment plan, the payment structure, the month of payment, whatever information you need to know about that project would be clearly stated on that property. What you need to do on that land, what you're allowed to do, what you're not allowed to do, the months allocated for you to complete payment, and every other information. The infrastructural fee would be captured there, the excavation fee, if the company will be building for you or if you'll be building by yourself, every information would be captured in this offer letter. So it is important that you have it so that the company would not come back requesting for hidden charges from you, right? So the offer letter is very important when you're getting an estate land from a real estate company. So number 2 document is the sales receipt. The sales receipt is simply a document that verifies that yes, the company has received and confirmed your payment. Usually when you go through the offer letter and you're satisfied with the terms and conditions therein, then an account number would be placed below the offer letter where you can proceed to make payment. So after making payment into that company's account, you come back with the proof of payment to the company, and then the company would issue a sales receipt to you. Now usually the sales receipt would stand as your evidence or your weapon to show that yes, you actually paid certain amount for that particular property. So the 3rd document you need to get from the company is the allocation letter. Now again, we made mention of this earlier on, that the allocation letter is actually a document that is issued to you by the real estate developing company. This allocation letter captures your plot number and every other information about that particular plot and that particular property you own in that estate. And this allocation letter is what represents your C of O. So without this allocation letter, it is impossible for you to sell that your estate land. It is impossible for you to transfer title documents to another person. However, if you make just part payment on that particular property, say you make 50% commitment, you're not getting your final allocation letter. What you get is a provisional allocation letter. A provisional allocation letter simply means that we are working towards giving you final allocation letter, but this is going to be done after your full payment is being confirmed. So if you're making part payment on that particular property, what you get is a provisional allocation letter. But the disadvantage of that provisional allocation letter is the fact that if you don't meet up with the speculated time given to you to complete payment, that plot number could be allocated to someone else who has made full payment. So it is not so certain that you would retain that particular plot, except if you've gotten your final allocation letter. So do all you can to get your final allocation letter by making full payment on that particular property. So the fourth document is the power of attorney. The power of attorney simply, indicates your legal interest. It gives you the authority to transfer such property to another person. It gives you the legal authority to do whatever you want to do on that land, to build, to develop, to rent, to lease, whatever you want to do on that land. So the fifth document is the deed of assignment. A deed of assignment is a legal document that transfers ownership of property from the seller, which is in this case the company, right, to you, the buyer. Now, it also captures the details and the terms of which this property is being transferred to you. It captures the property description, the plot size, the plot, whatever information that is affiliated with that plot or that property. The deed of assignment will capture it. Like I said earlier on, the power of attorney actually represents your legal interest on that property, while the deed of assignment actually represents your equitable interest on that particular property. Now, just to make mention that sometimes, or in some cases, what the real estate companies do now is the fact that they just merge the power of attorney and the deed of assignment information, into the allocation letter. Do you understand? So initially, they used to give this document separately, but considering some legal terms and some legal dealings, it is now being attached in the allocation letter. So most information that you find on the power of attorney and the deed of assignment is being put together in the allocation letter. So you might want to go get a property from a real estate developing company, and they might not give you a power of attorney or a deed of assignment. Don't feel bad. It is not a bad deal. It is just that they have decided to attach all the information into the allocation letter. All right. So let me just add this as a bonus point, which is going to be number 6 document you need to have, is the building plan approval. Now I'm saying this as I'm giving this as a bonus point because the company already have secured the building plan approval for you on your behalf. So the moment you pay the necessary fees, you get your allocation letter, you pay for excavation and all of those necessary bills, the company would give you or issue to you the building plan approval for you to commence work on site. So this is also, an important document you need to get from a real estate developer after paying for a land. So we just concluded, the important documents you need to get on an estate land after making payment. Right now, we want to look at, for non-estate lands, what are those documents you need to request for or you need to have after making payment on that particular land. The first title document you need to get is the C of O or the R of O, as the case may be. Right, whatever document that property is coming with, whether C of O or R of O, it is a very important document for you to lay hold on. The C of O simply means a certificate of occupancy, and this is a legal document that is issued by the government that grants the holder the right to occupy and to use the land for a specified time, and is typically up to 99 years of use. Now, it is also the primary proof of land ownership, especially here in Nigeria. We know that you are the legal owner of that land when we see your C of O or your R of O. So the first document you need to request for is the C of O. So the next document you need to request for is the technical deed plan, known as the TDP or the survey plan. Now, a technical deed plan is a detailed survey plan that shows the exact boundaries and measurements of a parcel of land. It is usually prepared by a registered surveyor, and it is being approved by the Surveyor General's office. This document is essential for verifying the accurate location and the dimension of such property. So if you want to know the location, the shape and the size of your land, then you need to make demands on that TDP. It also captures the necessary coordinates that leads you straight to where your land is situated, like we mentioned earlier on. So any C of O, any R of O that you have without TDP is not a complete document. Every C of O comes with a TDP or a survey plan, because it is that information they are going to use to prepare your survey plan, and that survey plan that is going to verify the R of O or the C of O that you're holding. Now, the TDP is very, very important, because in some cases, people might want to sell a particular land to you, and they claim that, for example, this land is 1,000 square meters, and the TDP that they are giving you is showing 600 square meters. So you can question that document. And also, you could see from the TDP, you could see that the coordinate is leading you to, let's say, Lugbe. And then on the C of O, you're seeing that the C of O states that this land is situated in Gwarimpa. So you can see that, there is a clash in information. You can vet the C of O by the TDP, and you can vet the TDP by the C of O. So this document comes together, they come hand in hand. If the plot number on the C of O does not correspond with the plot number on the TDP, then it is not a correct title document. Or if the land size here is not as same as this one, then you need to as well question that information. So the TDP is a very important document for you to request for when buying a non-estate land. Now, the TDP usually complements the C of O or the R of O, because sometimes some people could present a C of O that is different from the TDP to you. You could have a C of O that is stating Gwarimpa, for instance, and then you're having a TDP that is stating Lugbe, for instance. Do you understand? So these are two contradicting informations. So the information on the TDP or the survey plan is meant to complement the information on the R of O or the C of O. Some people actually present properties to you that, have contradicting informations. The plot number on the C of O could be different from the plot number on the TDP. The land size on the C of O could be different from the land size on the TDP. The coordinate on the TDP could be taking you to Lugbe, while the location on the C of O could be indicating Gwarimpa. So you can see that these are different information. You need to be sure that, whatever TDP that you're being given complements the C of O or the R of O that is being given to you as well. So the third important document you need to get is the power of attorney. The power of attorney is a legal document, again, that grants you the authority to act on behalf of another. You, the new buyer, you're acting on behalf of the previous seller. So you could decide to sell that land, you could decide to build on it, you could decide to lease it out. Anything you want to do, you can do on that particular land. Now, this property must be properly executed and, most advisable, registered at the land registry to be valid for property dealings. So the fourth document you need to get when buying a non-estate land is the deed of assignment. Again, the deed of assignment is a legal document that transfers ownership of property from the seller to the buyer. Now, it details the terms and conditions, including the property description, the parties involved, and the agreed condition, which is the price. So the deed of assignment captures the price at which that property is being sold for, and if it was given to you as a gift, it would also be covered in that particular document. So this document also must be registered at the land registry to perfect the buyer's title. Now, the power of attorney and the deed of assignment must not be joked with. You must not play hanky-panky on these documents, because they are very, very important to you as the buyer. So if you're buying a property, in as much as the C of O is important to you, the TDP is important to you, don't just get the C of O and the TDP and just start running. No, ensure that the deed of assignment and the power of attorneys are being signed effectively and being registered at the land registry. Because without the power of attorney and the deed of assignment, the seller could put up an allegation against you that you came to his house, you're a thief, you're an armed robber, you came to his house to steal his C of O, his TDP, or his R of O, or whatever document. But having the power of attorney and the deed of assignment, this clearly states that a transaction has taken place between the buyer and the seller, and on this wise, you would win that case wherever it's being taken to. So please ensure that you lay hold on these 4 important documents when buying a non-estate property. So guys, we've been able to look at the important documents you need to get from a real estate company, and then when you're buying a non-estate land. I hope you found this video very, very insightful, and I believe that you're gonna deal appropriately on your next real estate transactions. And if there are any documents you're yet to get from any of these land dealings, whether from an estate or a non-estate land, then I advise you to quickly go and get those documents to help put up your title document in order. Now you might want to ask, why can't I be given a CFO or an RFO when buying land from a real estate developing company, right? The reason is because that land they are selling to you is actually a large expanse of land that came with just one CFO, right? So that estate land has been partitioned into smaller plots. So that main CFO is what is guiding or protecting the entire single plot in that estate. So it cannot be given to one individual. It cannot be given to you as an individual. It remains the company's property, so that whenever anything comes up, the company can pick up that CFO to defend every other plot in that estate. So now you see the reason why you cannot get that CFO. Now there are other reasons why you cannot get CFO, but just to let you know that this is just one of the reasons why you cannot get a CFO. However, there are some estates that gives a global CFO. They call it global CFO. So friends, I hope you found this video very, very insightful, and if you did, do want to give it a thumbs up, like the video, and share it with your family and friends so that they also would know the important documents they need to get after buying a property from an estate or a non-estate land. And if you're looking to buying a property anytime soon, then my team and I here at Ideal Homes and Estate Developers Limited are just the best team to work with, right? Because we are knowledgeable when it comes to property dealings and legal aspects of real estate. We'll be so glad to put you through and to give you what we have at hand, right? So do well to reach out to us right now, and we would be so glad to get you started immediately. And finally, just as a reminder that this is a full real estate investment course. There are videos that have been treated before this particular one, and we have other videos after this particular video. Do well to watch all of these videos to get yourself abreast with whatever you need to know about real estate investment here in Nigeria. So in our next video, we shall be looking at the proper way to transfer property documents to the next owner. I'm sure you don't want to miss this video, right? So come with me as we move on to the next one.